So, hi guys, how's it going? My name is Ben. Welcome to my brand new YouTube channel. We're going to call myself Cycles and Spiders. As you can see, we're in the Spider and Cycle Shack. Cycles and Spider Shack. I don't know, we'll work on it. I'm into my mountain biking, got mountain bike. Into my road biking, road bike's over there. Into my tarantulas, they're all over here. So, yeah, welcome to the channel. Let's get started. So, my first video, I was thinking, what can I do? Could show my collection. There's not masses of spiders at the moment. Could do a feeding video. Again, only 5 spiders. Most of them don't eat half the time anyway, so it'd be quite a difficult video to film. So I thought, you know what? First video, I'm going to do something that I know a lot of other YouTubers have done. I got the idea from the Dark Den. But what I'm going to do today is show you how to turn this Ferrero Rocher tub. I've got 2 cameras. I'll be swapping between the 2. Into a small arboreal enclosure, tank, cage, whatever you want to call it. Because in this little vial here I've got a little CARIBENA VERSICOLOR or Antilles Pinto, and I made this enclosure which I really like, but unfortunately I wasn't expecting her to be as small a sling as she was. So I don't know if you can see or not. Let me just see. We've got these lovely air holes in here. They're just a little bit too big and she will definitely squeeze out of them. So I bought myself some more Ferrero Rocher, and today I'm going to make another one, so I thought I'd film it and bring you guys on the journey, show you how to do it. So, I keep saying so, I apologise. Yeah, let's get started. Okay, so we're filming. I'm not sure about the camera angle, so I might change them up. Don't know if you can see anything from this camera over here. It's not got a flip out screen, so I'm sort of setting it and coming back and hoping it's alright. So, I don't know. It's my first video, we'll see how it goes. So, pretty simple. What you need is Ferrero Rocher, or a tub of similar sort of style. Then we need a Sharpie, or a felt tip, or something you can draw a line with, because we need to draw a line across where we're going to cut it. Then obviously we need a cutting tool. I'm going to use a Dremel. With a small cutting disc. You don't need to use a Dremel, you can use a hacksaw, you can use basically anything that's sharp enough to cut through it. Obviously if you're a kid, please be careful, ask for adults' help, don't want to lose any fingers. Then we're going to need I'm using a hot glue gun over here. You can also use super glue or some other type of glue. Some people use silicone, anything really, as long as it's safe for animals, it'll be fine. Then the last thing you're going to need is, again, you don't need this, you can use tape, but I'll be using just an acrylic hinge. Alright, so relatively inexpensive, I think. In total, the hinges were like £3 on eBay for 10, Ferrero Rochers for £5, so that's pretty much all you need. Then obviously you need some substrate and anything else you want to decorate with. So first of all, let's get into these, get that rubbish off. Well, they don't make it easy, do they? Getting that off. Just chuck it down there for now. Let's put the Ferrero Rocher to the side, but I'll definitely be coming back to those in a bit. Let's get that little bit of cardboard out as well. So, that is our enclosure. So all we're going to do is draw a line somewhere, probably about a third of the way up, maybe a quarter. Cut that off, glue the bottom half on, stick the hinge on, and then it'll look something like this. Front opening is perfect for definitely the avicularies. I'm not sure too much about other species. I'm relatively inexperienced keeper, but the avicularies are great because they sit right at the top of their enclosure, all this webbing. At the moment she's in a vial. Every time I open it to try and feed her or give her some water or anything, I have to destroy the web. So the front opening is brilliant because I can do all that as long as she doesn't web on the front. Hopefully she'll web in the top back corner, and then I can get in and out without disturbing her, and hopefully she will thrive, which is good. So first things first, I'm going to mark where I want to draw a line, cut the line, glue it on. I'll do this as a time lapse because it just seems easier. Right, so there you go, cut it in half. Let's just get those little crusty bits off because we don't want those on that. One thing I forgot to mention that you are going to need is a drill or a drill bit, or something you can make holes with. Some people can use like a hot fork or something, but I don't like using that because it's a bit dangerous. Soldering iron's another thing. I'm using a drill, and like I said, the last one I did, the holes were too big, so this time I'm using a 1mm drill bit. So it's really tiny, so I'll make sure I put lots of holes in there for lots of cross ventilation. So if I switch over to the other camera angle, you can see that's cut now. And it's going to sit on here, hopefully, if I can do it. There you go. So that's going to sit on like that. That's going to be glued on. Then we're going to pop the hinge on, and that's going to be the top half. Relatively straightforward, and then it will just open up from the front like that. So I've got to stop saying so. I'm going to work on this. Let's get rid of the Dremel. Plug the hot glue gun in and get that warmed up. So that's warming up. I'll be back in a minute. I'm just going to have a drink. Right, so the hot glue gun's pretty much there. It says. It's getting there slowly. So whilst that's warming up, I just thought I'd talk a bit more about myself, introduce myself. Hopefully you guys will learn to like me, click the subscribe button maybe, who knows. So yeah, I'm Ben, 26. You're in the Spiders and Cycle Shack, that's what I'm calling it. Don't know if the name's going to stick. But essentially it's a 8 foot by 6 foot shed that I built last year with the help of my good friend Tom. Originally it was just going to be an office, but at the same time I sort of was getting into my spiders, and at the same time the wife was getting sick of the spiders in the house. So what we've done, built a shed. It's not quite finished yet, but it's plenty warming up in here as it's warming up in the country. But yeah, we've got insulation behind, insulation all around, and the roof will be insulated before the winter. Got a little oil filled radiator down there, so it keeps it at a nice sort of 20-22 degrees Celsius, which is lovely, especially when it's cold outside and you come in. Perfect, t-shirt, lovely. I've got 5 tarantulas at the moment. So we've got a Brachypelma vagans. That was my first tarantula. It's just molted and turned out to be a male, which I'm a bit disappointed about, but I don't mind. I don't have any plans to breed. I just wanted a bigger spider. So yeah, he's cool. And we've got a Lacidora habana. Just bear with my pronunciation. I'm getting used to all the Latin names are proper names. So he is an adult male salmon pink. He's pretty big. Probably about 7 to 8 inch leg span. He came from a friend of mine who said, you know, I know you've just got into your spiders, I've got this mature male sat here doing nothing, and he's got loads of spiders. He's like, if you want him, you can have him. So he lives here with me now. Then we've got the CARIBENA VERSICOLOR, which I fell in love with when I saw it. The blue is amazing. It's so small, but hopefully it will grow and turn out to be a nice, decent sized arboreal spider. And the last 2 most recent additions we've got a Brachypelma smithy, which I went online and had a look spoke to a few people because I was convinced that the pet shop had sold it as a Brachypelma smithy, even though it was actually a Hamori, but it turns out it is actually a smithy, so really chuffed with that. Bargain price of 20 quid as well, so can't complain. And my most recent addition is a Ageniculata. I can't remember. I'll put the name at the bottom. I'll put the names of all of them at the bottom, and I will work on the pronunciation as well. It was sold to me as an Nandochromatus, but it turns out it's not, which is really quite irritating. But at the same time, I don't mind. She's a nice size, only a juvie, but decent, very feisty, and loves her food, which is awesome. So yeah, that's the collection really. I've also got a few hundred cockroaches, dubio cockroaches that I've been breeding, because we've also got 2 leopard geckos in the house, which are cool, and I'll show you them at some point, not today, but in another video. But yeah, so it's good, I'm happy, and I'm sure the collection is going to grow not too quickly, but quickly enough. I've got quite a fair amount of room in here, and again I'll do a shed tour in another video. So lots of videos upcoming, hopefully. Well, it depends, we'll see how it goes. Get this one up, see what the response is like. I'm sure I'll make some more videos. I've always wanted to have a YouTube channel. I used to have a YouTube channel with a friend of mine where we used to go fishing quite a lot. which did relatively well. So I sort of know what I'm doing, but this is a whole different ball game. Got to make sure all my information's correct. I don't want to be upsetting anyone. I know we'll probably get some haters at some point, but we'll ignore those for now. So hopefully the hot glue gun's hot enough now. Looks like it. It's got a bit of a drip on it, so nice and straightforward. On the Ferrero Rocher tub, I don't know if you can see it. There's like a little groove. Basically, you want to put the hot glue in the groove because then it will sit perfectly on the sort of base of the enclosure, I guess, if you want to call it that. It's fiddly, not particularly easy to do, but as long as there's a decent amount of glue on there, it's not going to go anywhere. So that's that. So all we're going to do is line that up before the glue dries. Perfect. Press it on nice and tight, and because it's hot glue, it dries really quickly, which is just what we want. So that's on there. Turn the hot glue gun off for now, and we're going to attach the hinge. So the hinge, the last one I did, I used the hot glue gun, but it sort of leaks out everywhere because you have to press the hinge quite tight. So this time, to just try something new, I've got some super glue. So I'm going to try and super glue this hinge on, and I'll see which one works better. So all you need to do, line it up roughly where you want it. We're going to glue the bottom half on first. You have to make sure the hinge is straight, because otherwise when it opens, it'll open at an angle and it won't close properly as well. So I've got a little bit of stuff on there. So just where I've cut that, it's not particularly neat. Hang on. Don't know if you can see that or not. I can't. Oh, the focus is rubbish. So basically, along the cut line, it's a bit rough, so it's not sitting quite how I want it. So I'm just going to plug the Dremel in and just neaten it up a little bit. There we go. 2 seconds. Much neater. So let's pop that on there. Get it where we want it. Make sure it's nice and pushed up against the end. And I'm going to get my super glue. You don't have long with the super glue. It dries, especially this stuff, dries really, really fast. So you need to apply the glue to the flat side of the hinge, so otherwise it won't open all the way. So we're just going to pop, if it comes out, there we go, bit of super glue on there, spread it around, make sure we get it on. Yeah, perfect. Right, press that flat for a minute and we'll just hold it for a minute, just to let that dry a little bit, get a bit of a grasp, and then we'll do the other side. Okay, so that was what? 30 seconds, already dry. It's going to take about 24 hours to dry completely, but 30 seconds is enough for it to dry, so we can carry on with the next step. So next step, nice and straightforward. I'm just going to apply the glue on the other side of the hinge. Like so. Let's pop the cap back on before it dries out. Flip that over. Press it flat on this side as well. So it's not perfectly in the middle, but I can live with that. It's not just plenty for me. But if it was a display enclosure, I probably wouldn't be using a Ferrero Rocher tub. So we'll go practicality over looks, I think. And to be honest, everyone wants to see what's inside it, not what it's made out of. So I'm just holding that there whilst that's drying. It's been about 20 seconds or so. And then there you go, that's attached, sorted. Nice and straightforward. I'll show it to the other camera as well. So there we go. Easy. Right, next step is to drill the air holes. I'm going to leave that for 5 minutes just to dry, then I'll come back with a drill, we'll drill some holes, get it set up, get the spider in. Awesome. Been about 5 minutes, it's much better now, much stronger. So I've got my drill with my 1mm drill bit, like I said before, and yeah, I'm going to do a time lapse because you guys don't want to sit there for 20 minutes watching me drill holes. So let's get started. Right, so there we have it pretty much. Hopefully the time lapse wasn't too tedious for you. The first enclosure I did, I sort of made a nice pretty pattern with the air holes, but this time I haven't bothered because, to be honest, it makes no difference if they look pretty or not. The only thing, especially with avicularias, they need a lot of ventilation, a lot of cross ventilation, so that doesn't mean just air holes on one side. You need air holes everywhere, so the air can sort of go through and make sure there's a bit of a flow. So as you can see, I don't know if you can see it in that camera, so I'll show you in both. I've got loads of air holes at the top, a line at the bottom, and again a line at the bottom, loads of it at the top, and then right on the top lid, done lots of holes as well, and also the gap where you've cut the door acts as sort of ventilation as well. So there's more than enough air holes in there. The last thing we need to do is make the sort of catch for it. So if you look at this one, here's one I made earlier, just like Blue Peter. I'll show you this camera as well. We've got this little sort of tab at the top, and that is just pops out and it's unlocked. When it's in, you can't open it. Take it out, easy. So all this is, I don't know if you'll even be able to see that, is a bit of paper clip that I've bent, and then just because I had it lying around, it's a cable cap for a mountain bike. You can use anything. A lot of people use like a cocktail stick with a little bit of glue on the end. I like that just because it's sort of, I'm quite good at losing things, and that's quite, it will stand out if I drop it in here. So first thing, so I need to drill a hole for it. Now the hole is quite difficult to drill because there's only a small overlap, so I don't know if you can see it on that camera. If not, I'll show you on this one in a second. So if you look, this is the top. It's got to go on this small gap here, see where they overlap? So you've got to drill a hole through that, so we'll do that now, being nice and careful not to break it, because if we break it, we've got to start all over again. So it doesn't have to be particularly central, but make sure it's right on the overlap. Nice and slow. There we go. I'm just going to make that a little bit bigger so we can get a proper paperclip size for it. And I'll just test it with the paperclip from the other one, if I can get it out. There we go. So hopefully that'll be big enough. Yeah, so there you go. Locked in place. I will make another one of those later, but I'm not going to do one now. It's really straightforward. Basically make something small that will go through the hole but won't go all the way through the hole. So that is our DIY Ferrero Rocher enclosure. I suppose now it's time to set it up for a spider. So let me grab some bits and then I'll come back to you. Right, so I'm back. Got a few bits that I need for the enclosure, so let's show you what we've got. Show you on that camera. Actually, I took this one down as well. Double view, why not? So we've got some substrate. This is mainly just peat moss, not peat moss, sorry. Just peat and a little bit of cookie fibre and a little bit of potting soil. There's not much, and this one is quite dry, so I missed it a little bit before it goes in, but not a lot because it doesn't need to be wet. And then I've got a few little bits of cork bark, tiny little bits, that I'm going to hot glue to the sides. And then just a little bit of fake plant. I don't know if I'm going to use that or not. I'll put it together and see how it looks. So first things first, let's do the cork box. So I'm just going to try and position these sort of where I want them. Let me just relocate the other camera so we get some good views still. Let's have a look, see how this one's doing. Yeah, that's alright. Make sure it's in focus. Really good camera that, for taking photos. Not very good for videos, doesn't autofocus at all, so you have to do it every time you move something, change it up again. So I'm thinking, we wanted to sort of web up the top back corner, so I was going to put a bit like that she can't, well, she could sort of squeeze behind it, but not a lot, especially when she gets a little bit bigger. So that's quite a bit of an anchor point. And then one actually on the back, like so. And then this one, no, sort of at an angle slightly lower down. Not really sure. So I like what the big one is, so I'm just going to definitely get that one in first, and then we can have a look. So, if this is nice and warm, which it probably isn't. Oh, it's a pain as well. To get the next glue stick in, you have to put a little bit on, and push it through. But there we go. So let's pack this full of glue, because I figure if I put some more enough on there, then she can't actually get behind it. I'm saying she, because I'm really hopeful that she's a she. So let's get this glue through. It's not quite warm enough yet, but it's getting there. Slowly but surely. So then that's going to go just slightly lower down so she can get above it, but not behind it. Bless me, sorry about that. Oh dear, another one. Right, so that's that one in place. As you can see, I'll show you that camera as well. And she shouldn't really be able to get behind it. There's not too much of a gap anywhere. If she does, then fair play, she can stay there because it's pretty impressive. So the next one, I'm not really sure. That one's sort of curved a little bit, so she will be able to get behind it. So what I'm thinking, possibly pop it at an angle. Can you see that? Like that, because then there's a bit of a gap behind, but I'll still be able to see. Yeah, I like that actually. Let's do that one. So just a little bit of glue around the bottom half, so we don't seal it up. If the glue decides it wants to come through, which would be really helpful. There you go, it's warming up a bit now. He says, come on glue gun. Right, tell you what, I'm back in 2 minutes once that's warmed up a bit. We've actually got some glue that is hot now, so let's carry on where we were. So we're going to put some glue around here. It's just not pushing it through properly for some reason. Let's use 2 hands to do it this way. Get that next glue stick in there. Honestly, don't ever rely on technology when you're filming videos, because it just never works when you want it to. How hard is it to use a hot glue gun? There we go. That's better. So, we're just going to stick that one sort of like that. I'll just hold it down for a minute, just so the glue gets a chance to dry, because although the hot glue is really good, it sort of droops for 30 seconds or so before it starts to set. So make sure you hold it in place unless it's staying exactly where it is. So yeah, that's looking pretty cool. There you go. Get in there. As you can see, she's got a bit of a gap behind it as well, so it'll work as an anchor point for the webbing, but also should probably end up webbing behind it a little bit. Let's see if we can get this third piece in here somewhere as well. I'm thinking just maybe on the side. Don't really want to block the air holes. Should have really thought this through before I did it. I think if I just, I don't know. No, you know what? We'll leave it with 2. Leave it with 2. It's going to snap that plant in half, and what I'm going to do, pop a little bit of plant just there, I think, just to give her a little bit of cover as well. So we'll just pop a glue gun dot on the end of this, and then after this I'm going to throw the glue gun away because it's doing my head in. There we go. So again, kids, if you're doing this, please ask an adult, because the glue guns can be really warm and you don't want to get a burn. So I'll pop that in there, just leave that there for a minute to dry out. And I think I'm also going to pop a bit slightly lower down, again just as another anchor point, because the more anchor points the better. She is quite, you'll see in a minute, but she is small, so everything we can do to stop her falling the better, because we don't want her to get hurt. That'll be my dogs, excuse them barking. This glue gun is rubbish. So, there's a hot glue again. I'm just going to pop that one in there. like that. So leave that to dry for a second. Get rid of this hot glue on before I set fire to something or burn the place down. Oh dear. Bring you back up to my level. Okay, there we go. So just whilst that's drying, once that's dry, just need to chuck the substrate in. So actually, whilst we're waiting for that to dry, let's just moisten the substrate a little bit. All we're going to do, get the squirt bottle, give it a little bit of a dampening, just to bump the humidity up in there a tiny little bit. They don't do great with humidity, but let's get a little bit of moisture in there. That's all we need. So it doesn't clump together at all. But it sort of sticks to your hands a little bit. So that'll do. I'm not going to put a water bowl in there because they get the majority of their water from the food they're eating. Sorry about the dogs barking. Yeah, they get the majority of the water through the food that they're eating. If she doesn't eat for a few weeks, then what I'll do is I'll put a light spray of water just on the web so she can get to the water droplets if you want. I'll be back in a second. Just going to go and find out what the dogs are barking at. Right, they were barking at a fly. Who knows, right? So there you go. That's how we're doing at the moment. It's looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. So we're just going to add some substrate in there. I'll do it over the tub. Just hang on. Going to get the scaggly bits of hot glue out first. Then let me just tilt you down again. Just going to add the substrate. Doesn't need a lot because they're never on the ground. So just a little bit. It'll hold a little bit of moisture in if it needs to when we bump it up a little bit. Give that a shake. See how it's looking. You can see not much in there. I'm going to put a little bit more in there. Doesn't need to be anything special. Close it up, give it a shake, and I think we're there. So let's just move you around again. Thank you for bearing with me, ignore that hammer in the corner. So there we have it. Just make sure it closes properly, which it does. That is one Ferrero Rocher DIY arboreal enclosure. Happy with that. So now the fun part. Let's rehouse her. Just going to move the other camera around quickly, so make sure you get some good shots. Well, I get some good shots for you guys to enjoy. And I'll grab her and we'll pop her in. Right, so I've repositioned the camera. It's not a particularly good zoom lens, so what I'll end up doing, I'll take you off and I'm going to move you around. It might be a bit shaky, but the footage is quite good. It does 4K, I think. Who knows? So here she is, in here. Let's pop you off of there and move her over. Now I know. Oh, gee, there we go. So I know that there is a roach in there. It's fine. I put it in there a couple of hours ago. She hasn't eaten it, so once I've taken her out, I'll remove that as well. So I'm just going to spin you around, and we will move her over. So apologies if this is shaky. Obviously you've got both cameras, so I might have to put this one down. I don't know if I'm going to need two hands or not. So let's see if I can spot her first. There she is. You can't really see. I've got as much light as I can on there as well. So we'll pop it open. This is not easy to do with one hand. And can you see her in there? There she is, gorgeous. Let's pop a light on, see if we can. There we go, look at that. So she's small, but she is beautiful. Let me just grab the tripod. I'm going to pop you down somewhere else to see if that makes a difference. Okay, so repositioned. It's a little bit better. One of the camera batteries is quite low, so hopefully it won't die. So what I'm going to do. She's pretty good normally. She's quite quick, but she's good. Sorry, mate. Don't really want to be destroying your web, but you know, it's worth it. because you've got a nice new house to go to. So there we go, out you come, pop you on there. The thing with avicularies is, well, and ex-avicularies, sorry, caribenas, because they're arboreal, they just like to climb to the highest point all of the time, which is sometimes very easy to work out where they're going to go, but other times it can be a right pain. But there she is, she's looking good. She is tiny, so you probably struggle to see her. The camera's struggling to focus on her. But, yeah, there we go. I'll try and get some close-up shots in a minute. Let's just give her a nudge inside. In we go, lovely. Go on. As you can see, she is missing a leg. She came from the shop like that. So, it's fine. It'll come back after a molt or two. Just nudge her slowly in there. She's going to wander around the edge because she's going, well, there's not anything else to climb on. So, there you go, that's a better view of her as well. Look at those little legs, she is just beautiful. Let's just nudge you in there. Hopefully you'll get on the side, not on the stick. That's it. There we go, I want to go straight up onto the cork box. I know that she's happy. She knows where she's going to be. And there's no way she's going to get out of these air holes. Not out, not out. Come on. There we go. You can see that gorgeous, gorgeous pattern already. She is beautiful. I can't wait for her to get a little bit bigger, a little bit more colour. She's going to look cracking. Not out. No. No. In. Thank you. So yeah, there she is. In all her glory. Let's just give her a nudge onto the cork box. Give her a nudge over, come on. There you go. Oh, we're going to fall off the table there. Let's move that around a little bit. There she is, so she's pretty much found the cork box. I don't know if you can see her on the other camera. Let's have a look. Not really. Let's just turn that one off for a minute. But there, she's in. Hopefully she'll web up around the between the two cork box, because I think that'll look pretty cool. And she's going to stay in here probably for a few years, because I know they're not the fastest growing spiders in the world. And it's a nice space for her, so we'll get plenty of cool looking webs. At the moment she's not eating, well, she's not hunting or killing, I don't know what you'd call it. She's only eating pre-killed. So I can't really get any feeding clips that are exciting at all. Well, I can't get any feeding clips at all, to be honest. I haven't actually seen her eat. I saw her with a pre-killed cricket in her mouth once, but she is eating because they disappear. So yeah, that's her. That is how to make a Ferrero Rocher enclosure. So there we go, there's two next to each other. As you can see, they're pretty cool looking. Hopefully you found this informative. I didn't ramble on too much or say the word so too many times. If you enjoyed it, feel free to hit the subscribe button. Give me a like, leave a comment, tell me what you think, how can I improve, what am I doing wrong, what am I doing right. Obviously I'm saying and so a lot. I'd also like to say just a quick thank you to Tarantula Ben. No, that's a lie. Inverter Ben. He was the one that sort of inspired me to join, well, make a YouTube channel and sort of document my spiders. I love his videos, and he always replies to my comments, and he always has a chat with me on Instagram as well, which I just think is really nice. So I'm going to follow in his footsteps. I'll do my best to try and reply to everybody's comments if there are any comments. Obviously, big thank you as well to the likes of Sidex, Tarantula Dan, Sir Peter Webster, the Dark Den, Tarantula Cat, basically all of the spider YouTube community, Tarantula YouTube community. I've been watching your videos probably for a year or so now, and I'm really inspired, and decided that it was my turn and I was going to make some videos as well, and hopefully you guys will appreciate what I'm doing. Hopefully you enjoy my content, and hopefully I can inspire others like they've inspired me. So back to the sort of vlog setup, I guess. I'll hold you all the way out here. Yeah, that's me done pretty much, and thanks for watching.